Miami.
Well, that's, I said it all along. If you dig into the series, possession by possession, it was a hard-fought series. In terms of baskets were hard to come by, which I knew it would be, because of the way they play too. So, field goal percentage-wise, the thing that oftentimes separates you is the hustle play at the end. And so whether it's a loose ball, deflection, an offensive rebound. But, I believe we shot a higher percentage than they did. I think we out-rebounded them. But the difference between winning and losing in a playoff game is very, very small.
Tom, how would you describe Jalen's postseason?
Yeah, I mean, it's when you dig into it, it's, he's one of the best players in the league. I think he shows that every night that he goes out there. That the Heat are a terrific defensive team, and to be able to do what he's doing is a credit to him and the way he works and his teammates and the way they work together. And I think he's young. He's going to continue to get better and better. But he was terrific last season in the playoffs. He's terrific this season. He's always had that ability, and he's never satisfied. And that's what I respect about him. Great worker, great person, great leader, and very determined. And so the numbers speak for themselves when you look at what he did, and he did it very efficiently. And so we're looking forward to the summer, the off season, and improving over the course of the off season.
Tom, I kind of had a similar question on Jalen, but does he ever surprise you? I mean, the entire playoffs in the last two games, specifically the way he's played. And
No. And and I don't say that because, but I've watched this kid since he was 6 years old. So I think initially you don't know how good someone will become, but every step of the way, he always got to the top of the mountain. And he may not look the part, but his will and his determination and his ability to think on his feet and his drive is special. So I'm thrilled that he's with us.
Tom, Jalen obviously was superb, but your other starters were a combined 5 for 32. Did you just not get enough from them, and specifically Julius and RJ?
No, and that's what I said. It's like you look across it, and every night the playoffs are different. So the intensity of the game's different. So, and you're not going to be great in every game. No one is. You could have an off game, and you got to bounce back the next game. So. We take what we learned from it, work all summer to get better. Julius is still young. He's just going into his prime right now. So, we're looking forward to what's coming next.
Tom, when you guys walk off the court and go in the locker room, obviously it's a successful year for you guys, but how hard is it for guys like RJ and Julius to leave on a note like that?
To me, it's like when you lose in the end, there's disappointment. That's normal. But when we take a step back and you look at it in totality, and which is we will do, we'll examine the things we did well, the things we didn't do as well as we would have liked. We'll formulate a plan to move forward and get the focus there so we can get better. But this is playoff basketball, so we finished it. We're one of the final 8 teams, and that's not the goal. So we got to. There's a lot of work to be done. We understand that. But in the end, when this is all said and done, there'll be one team standing. There's going to be 29 other ones that have fallen short. And then next season, once the season ends, you start all over. You're at a zero base. So then it's what you put into it again. So everyone's going to go back to zero, and then we have to start all over. And you got to work like crazy all off season to get ready for next season. So, the aspect of the disappointment, we would still like to be playing. That's obvious. That's why you do it. If you're a competitive person, that's what you want. And we fell short, and there's disappointment. But I think to look at it and say, okay, we learned a lot. Let's use this as motivation to move forward and get better. And that's what you have to do.
Tom, could you take us through a little bit Josh's day and kind of when did you know he was going to play and when, with the birth of his sons?
Yeah, and again, it's we all tend to sometimes forget that aspect of it. Our players are human, and it's an exciting time for him. And there's, the way it unfolded, there was a lot going on, and credit to him. We're excited for him. Obviously it's a big thing for he and his wife, and he gave us what he could, but it was one of those things that just it happened, and he dealt with it as well as you can. But
Tom, do you hope to? I mean, he's going to be a free agent. Is expected to decline the option. Do you hope and expect him to be back?
That would be, I love the guy, so that would be, he is a free agent, so he's got say in it, obviously. But we'd love to have him back. I'm sure Leon will comment on that further.
Tom, is it too early to appreciate what you meant to the New York basketball market this year?
Yeah, and like I say this endlessly, and I really believe it. It's the best place to play. It's the best city, best arena. We have very, very knowledgeable fans. So that the whole atmosphere, there's nothing like a big game in the Garden. And we all know that. And we know there's an appreciation for a team that plays hard and plays together and plays smart. And if you make good plays, it's recognized. So, we know how fortunate we are. And hopefully we make it. We make them proud, and we give everything we have. Sometimes we fall short, but we'll bounce back.
I know Mitch had 11 rebounds tonight, but was Bam a tough draw for your centers in this series?
Bam's a heck of a player. He had a big first half. He's a great competitor. That's a tremendous respect for him. And they kept bodies on Mitch, but I give Mitch a lot of credit because Mitch, he had 11 rebounds, he had 5 offensive, and he was getting that with bodies hanging all over him, draped over him. So, and again, like I think Mitch had a number of good plays, blitzing the pick and roll. Obviously, with a player like Jimmy, there's a lot that you have to put into it, and there's a lot of energy. And I think all that he learned from this series is good for him. And overall, I'm very pleased with the season that Mitch had.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep.